Yeah, that's a great question, Andrew. It really is something to think about. I mean, firefighters are heroes, right? But what's their mindset when they're out there battling fires or rescuing people?
Exactly. So, have you ever met any firefighters in real life? Ava?
Well, not directly, but my sister-in-law has a cousin who works as a firefighter. He was kind of reluctant to share too many details about his job, but I got a glimpse into their daily lives.
That's interesting. So what can you tell me about how they prepare for and handle emergencies?
They go through intense training both physically and mentally. It's like boot camp on steroids. But besides that, they rely heavily on teamwork and protocols to stay safe and effective in the field.
Wow. Sounds tough, but crucial. And what kind of equipment do firefighters use? I mean, it must be really heavy, right?
Actually, their gear is designed to be lightweight and practical for them to move around quickly. They have fire-resistant suits, breathing apparatuses, basically everything they need to survive in those extreme conditions.
That's amazing. And do you think being a firefighter has changed the way firefighters perceive danger or risk?
Definitely. Firefighters are trained to assess risks and make quick decisions under pressure. But even with that training, it doesn't make the fear of danger go away, it just teaches them how to manage it.
Makes sense. So, when they're not fighting fires, what do firefighters spend their time doing?
They're always preparing for the next call drills, maintenance checks on equipment, and community outreach. It's all about being ready 24/7. Plus, they organize fire safety workshops to educate people.
That's awesome. They're not just rescuers, but also educators. Do you think that helps build a better understanding between the public and firefighters?
Absolutely. When communities see firefighters as friendly neighbors rather than distant figures in uniforms, it builds trust and cooperation. It's about creating mutual respect and safety.
That's really cool. I never thought of it that way before. So, what do you think is the most challenging part of being a firefighter?
The unpredictability, definitely. Every situation is unique, and they have to adapt quickly. And there are moments when they can't save everyone, or every building they face losses that are hard to handle.
That must be incredibly tough. How do they cope with those feelings of helplessness or failure?
They have counseling services and support groups. It's crucial for them to talk about their experiences, share emotions, and debrief after call. It's an integral part of their mental health and well-being.
That's really important. And do you think the public can help in any way?
Absolutely. By being prepared with fire safety knowledge and following basic precautions. The more aware people are, the less they need to rely on firefighters for those everyday things, which gives them more time to focus on saving lives.
That's a great point. So, how do you think the role of firefighters might change in the future?
Technology could play a bigger role, like drones for aerial assessments or AI systems for real-time fire prediction. Plus, with climate change making fires more frequent and severe, they'll need to adapt their strategies too.
That's fascinating. It sounds like firefighters are always evolving to meet new challenges.
Indeed. Their work is constantly changing, but the core values of bravery, dedication, and service remain constant.
Thanks for sharing all this with me, Ava. You've given me a whole new perspective on what it means to be a firefighter.
No problem at all, Andrew. It was great talking about it. Maybe next time we can explore more aspects of their lives and work. Absolutely, Andrew. It's amazing how much we take for granted. I was completely floored by how calm he was, describing things like, a house fire. It's so much more than just sirens and hoses, isn't it? Before we jump into specifics, I was really curious. Where's the first thing that struck you about Mark's demeanor? Did he seem prepared?
Honestly, he didn't seem prepared in a frantic way. More like intensely focused, like he'd run through this countless times in his mind. And the way he spoke about the people he's saved, that really hit home. It wasn't just about putting out the fire, was it? He talked about the families.
Totally. That's what got me. He was so deliberate about prioritizing human life. He described a call he responded to, a small kitchen fire, and how he meticulously checked for anyone trapped, even before he started battling the flames. It's the small details that seem to matter so much. What did he say about the training they go through? Is it purely physical, or is there a huge psychological component?
That's a brilliant point. He emphasized it's both. The physical stuff, the drills, the equipment handling is obviously crucial. But the psychological training, particularly situational awareness and decision-making under extreme stress, was just as important. He said they run simulations that put them in completely disorienting scenarios, forcing them to react instinctively.
Wow, that sounds intense. Did he talk about the toughest calls he's faced? I'm imagining those would be incredibly difficult to process. I'm picturing the aftermath, the emotional toll. How did he describe dealing with that?
He was very open about it. He mentioned one incident, a car accident with multiple fatalities. He didn't shy away from the sadness, acknowledging the profound impact it had on him and the team. He emphasized the importance of debriefing and supporting each other afterward. It's not just a job, he said, it's a commitment to each other.
That's so important. I think that's often overlooked, the camaraderie, the support system. You hear a lot about the danger, but not the weight of responsibility, the burden of making those life or death decisions. Did he talk about the equipment? The gear, the vehicles, it must be incredibly specialized.
Absolutely. The equipment is a massive part of it. He explained the different types of hoses, the specialized tools, the thermal imaging cameras. It's a whole arsenal. And the vehicles, they're incredibly robust, built to withstand some serious abuse. He mentioned the constant maintenance and upgrades are critical.
So, it's not just about knowing how to use the equipment, but understanding it, trusting it to work when your life depends on it. Did he discuss any particular challenges they face, like responding to high-rise fires or working in confined spaces?
He said high-rise fires are exponentially more complex due to the building's structure and the potential for multiple occupants. And confined spaces, like collapsed buildings, are terrifying. He spoke about the need for specialized training and equipment for those situations. The time pressure is immense.
It's mind-blowing to think about the level of preparation and skill required. I was also curious, do firefighters have a particular type of physical fitness they need to maintain? You'd imagine carrying equipment and battling flames would be incredibly demanding.
He said it's a very specific type of fitness, strength endurance, core stability, and agility. They're constantly training to carry heavy equipment, navigate difficult terrain, and perform physically demanding tasks. It's not just about being strong. It's about sustained performance.
That makes sense. And it's not just about their own fitness, but also about being able to assist others. Thinking about the risks, do firefighters ever experience a sort of aftermath in terms of mental health? Like, are there programs or support available to them?
He mentioned that's a huge priority now. The department has recognized the psychological impact of their work and offers extensive support programs, counseling, peer support groups, and mental health training. It's increasingly seen as essential for maintaining their well-being.
That's fantastic to hear. It highlights the fact that it's a truly demanding profession, and looking after the mental and emotional health of those brave individuals is absolutely vital. It shifted the conversation, really. So, looking back at everything he said, what would you say is the single most important lesson you took away from talking to Mark?
Honestly, the sense of unwavering dedication. The way he spoke about his commitment to protecting others, despite the inherent risks. It was a powerful reminder of the courage and selflessness of these incredible people. He's not just a firefighter, he's a guardian.
Absolutely. And that's a truly humbling thought. Thank you so much, Andrew, for sharing that incredible conversation with Mark. It's given us a much deeper appreciation for the sacrifices firefighters make every single day. Actually, I did last year when my neighbor's house caught on fire during a storm. The firefighter who responded was really cool.
Wow, that must have been terrifying for your neighbor and their family. How did the firefighter handle the situation?
Well, he stayed calm and assessed the situation quickly. He made sure everyone was safe before even thinking about putting out the fire.
That's impressive. I've always been curious about what goes through a firefighter's mind in those situations. Do you think it's adrenaline-fueled or more strategic?
I think it's a mix of both, to be honest. They have to make quick decisions under pressure, but they also need to think critically and prioritize tasks.
That makes sense. I've heard that firefighters undergo extensive training to prepare for different scenarios. What kind of training do they receive?
Oh, it's incredibly rigorous. They learn about firefighting techniques, rescue procedures, and even how to navigate through smoke-filled buildings.
That sounds like a lot to take in. Have you ever seen a fire being fought firsthand? I've always been amazed by the equipment they use.
Actually, my neighbor's house was within sight of the fire station, so I watched from a distance as they responded and battled the flames. It was incredible to see them work together.
Wow, that must have been amazing to witness. What about the psychological toll of dealing with traumatic situations? Do firefighters experience any specific challenges?
Yes, unfortunately, they do. They often deal with PTSD and other mental health issues due to the nature of their work. It's not something they advertise or talk about openly.
That's heartbreaking. I had no idea it was that bad. How can we support firefighters in these situations?
Well, one way is by appreciating their service and sacrifices. We should also prioritize mental health resources and provide more support for their well-being.
Absolutely. Last question. What do you think is the most misconceived myth about being a firefighter?
I'd say that people often think firefighters just run into burning buildings without a plan. But in reality, they have to carefully assess risks and make strategic decisions on the fly.
That's so true. It's not just about rushing in. It's about executing a precise response. Thanks for sharing your insights with us today.
No problem. I think it's essential to raise awareness about the realities of being a firefighter.
Well, thank you both for an eye-opening conversation.